Hi, I'm Brett Lindstrom, and welcome to Light-Minded Arts, where I'm going from Hammer to Hollywood. 10 years ago, I was knee-deep in drywall dust, wondering if there was any more to life than caulk guns and cranky client change orders. Spoiler alert, there is. Now I write scripts, produce films, and occasionally still fix my own kitchen sink. This channel is my behind-the-scenes journey, equal parts inspiration, perspiration, and what was I thinking moments. If you've ever dreamed of swapping your day job for a creative one, or just want to watch a guy build a business in a dying industry after years of framing houses, stick around, because I'm going to be building something more along the cinematic lines. And hey, at least here, the only thing getting demolished is my own comfort zone. Today, I'm talking about being positive. But first, here's my skit of the week. There's a lot in this world that can get me down. Some of it's from my own foolish actions. Some of it's just from living in an imperfect world. The thing is, you can't always choose your circumstances, but you can often choose how you react. Lucky for me, be positive is in my blood. Wouldn't you like to be positive too? Be positive. You're right. The problem is, we don't have any more of that left. No problem. I got a feeling this surgery is gonna go just fine. I'm afraid you don't understand. You could die. I get the feeling that he is A negative. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a little personal, a little philosophical, and a whole lot practical. So we're diving into a question that shaped my life, and I imagine it will shape yours too if you let it. So be positive. Is it in your blood? I'm not talking about your blood type, really, obviously, but I'm talking about a mindset, a way of living, a way of seeing the world through a lens of optimism, even when life throws curveballs. So let's rewind a minute. Think back to your childhood. What was it like? If you came from a stable home, maybe it was filled with laughter, scraped knees, and bedtime stories. But let's be real, not everybody had that. Some people grew up in chaos, uncertainty, or pain. And if that was you, let me ask you, do you have kids now? Are they growing up in a more stable environment than you had? Or maybe you know someone whose kids are thriving. Kids are incredible. They're curious, trusting, joyful. They're little bundles of optimism wrapped in sticky fingers and wild imaginations. Is it any wonder that Jesus Christ urged his followers to be more Christ-like? I mean, more childlike? Yes, he wants them to be Christ-like too, but he urged them to be more childlike. But somewhere along the way, some of that wonder starts to fade in a lot of people. Cynicism creeps in, life gets heavy, and yet some people still hold on to that spark. Let's talk about why that matters. Because honestly, life is hard. Sometimes it's our own fault. Sometimes it's just unfair. And when things get tough, it's easy to spiral, to dwell on guilt, failure, and blame. That spiral leads to anxiety, depression, and isolation. And then there's those annoying, chipper people like maybe me, or at least I feel like I'm that sometimes. But you know the ones. Trouble bounces off of them like they're made of vibranium. But here's the truth. They're not lucky. They're not immune to pain. They've just chosen a different lens to look through. They've adopted an attitude of gratitude, a pattern of positivity, and a mindset that changes everything. Positive thinkers don't avoid problems, they reframe them. Mistakes become lessons, illness becomes perspective, tragedy becomes deeper connection, and here's the kicker, positivity actually breeds success. Let me say that again. Positivity breeds success. In the workplace, optimistic people get hired, promoted, and trusted more often. Not because they're perfect, but because they lift the mood and take initiative, and they don't complain nearly as often. In families, they're the glue. They are the encouragers, the ones people want to be around. So yeah, positivity is a superpower. Now let's be clear, realism matters too. Too much optimism can lead to overconfidence and risky decisions. But realism without hope, isn't that just pessimism in disguise? Think about people like Jeff Bezos, or even better, the Wright brothers. They faced massive risks, but they believed in something bigger. Risk isn't bad. Stupid risk is bad. Like free climbing a cliff with no gear. That's optimism gone rogue. The key is balance. Dream big, but prepare smart. So, I've been blessed with an optimistic outlook. I think my wife says that I'm overly optimistic most of the times, or that I think too positive. In all honesty, I wouldn't have it any other way. I also attribute that to my faith in God. It plays a huge role, and maybe also never fully growing up contributes to that also. But I know that it works. It's what attracted my wife to me. It's what helped me bounce back after losing $500,000 in a failed business launch. This year, I've had 2 foot surgeries. Well, maybe by the time you're watching this, I will have. So far, I've only had 1, but I've got the other one coming up here in September. And those are pretty well knocking me out for the whole year. The recovery time is tough. I mean, right after surgery, I've got months before I can even put all my weight on it and I can do some of the activities I did before. Then I go back in for the next one. And even then, it's like a 2-year recovery before I'm fully healed after that. But despite that, I've prepared well and I've got a positive attitude for it. I've got things that I can do while I'm stuck in bed. I've got things that I can do while I'm recovering. And I'm trying my best to do as much as I can with what I've been given. Another thing that I've got going for me is that earlier this year I had to switch to a high raw vegan diet. I've got health issues that I never thought I'd have to deal with. I used to eat just about anything, anywhere, had like an iron stomach, just loved food like nothing else. And then this hit me, and all of a sudden I've got so many foods that I cannot eat that it's really been limiting. But I found the joy in eating that sort of a diet, and it's been great for me, and I actually really enjoy it. So you might have circumstances that hit you in your life that you weren't expecting, but you don't have to let them get you down. And I'll admit, there can be things that are really terribly discouraging, and I don't want to discount any of the hard that you're going through in your life. I just want you to know that by reframing it, by looking on the positive every day, and it won't come easy, especially if you're not used to it, but the more you work on it, the more it can help you. So what do you do if you're struggling with this? What if optimism feels impossible? You're not alone. Like, negative thinking can get really deeply ingrained in us, and sometimes deservedly so. But it's also subconscious. It's hard to change because it's not something that you can just flip a light switch and do. And some people, this will take a lifetime to master. And I'm sure there's going to be times in my life where I've still been down. I remember when my business was failing. Those were really hard times for me. I had so much stress, so much hard emotions that it was hard to be happy, but usually I was able to put those aside long enough that I could find the beauty in the day. And like I've mentioned before, don't discount faith in a higher power. For me, that's God, and believing that there is a plan that really gives me peace. And then, like in our last episode, we talked a bit about growth plans. So work on that. Include it in your growth plan. Pre-program your responses so that when disappointment does hit, you have a script ready to go. Train your brain to respond with hope. Talk to yourself like you've already made it. We're not trying to pretend that nothing's wrong. We can acknowledge that wrong happens, but we don't have to let it completely get us down. We don't have to let it rule our lives. Your subconscious will listen to you. Eventually, it'll believe you. So it's not magic, it's just a mindset. In the end, having a positive outlook is a gift. You had it once, maybe, I hope, back when you were really little, but if you've lost it, find a way to get it back. Your loved ones want you to be happy. Your coworkers want you to be happy. God wants you to be happy. Your future self wants you to be happy. And you can do this too, and I believe in you. Being happy, finding positivity in every day, having an optimistic outlook, it's essential for running a business. You don't want to be a pessimist business owner. It keeps you from taking necessary risk. So I believe in you. I also believe in me too. For the last 10 years, I've been putting together a plan and preparing myself for this new career. I want to step away from building houses and start building stories. I did a lot of preparation myself for this career change. There was financing to figure out, which I'll go over in later episodes. There was skill to acquire, and I'll go over those also. And a lot of personal growth that needed to happen. And I want to share some of those foundational ones before we get into some of the financial ones. And after all, I'm moving into a line of work that's very uncertain right now. AI is cannibalizing a lot of the work for artists, and there's a lot of eyeballs out there, or a lot of different things chasing different kinds of media. There's YouTube, Netflix, there's video, cable. I mean, there's just so many things that what I want to do is kind of scary to do. But I've got an optimistic outlook that I can make this work for me in one form or another. And I want to share this journey with you. And I hope that you can get something out of it. Please like and subscribe and follow me as I share these lessons with you and the preparations that I've made. I won't even make you buy any courses. I just want my kids someday to watch these videos and learn what I have to share. And I hope that you get something out of it as well. So, till then, I'll see you next week.